Good evening. I'm David Cole. You should know that by now, I'm assuming. And yes, I'm naked. You know why I'm naked? I'm naked because it's 105 fucking degrees outside in the fucking shade. I can't have my air conditioning on when I record this, or all of you bastards will be like, "Can't hear you, Dave. Your air conditioning can't hear you over the air conditioning." So what am I gonna do? You're gonna complain either way. You might as well complain about my nakedness. This video is not one of my regular vodcasts that I do with that vile Slavic creature named Edwin. You've probably seen some of those. Hopefully you haven't. No, this is a special video I'm recording because one of my other videos has now been banned throughout Europe. Now, if you are a regular denizen of the comments section of my videos here on YouTube, you'll see that every now and then I get some loony bird who will comment, "How come Cole's videos never get banned? How come they never get banned? See, he's not a denier." Exactly, I'm not. I'm not a denier, and that's why my videos never get banned. Not that I am in favor of banning anything, including Holocaust denial. Nothing should be banned. But my videos generally don't get banned because I don't fucking deny the Holocaust. Simple enough equation right there. However, I do attract trolls, and a couple of trolls have recently been targeting my videos, trying to get them pulled. These could be Holocaust denier trolls. These could be anti-denier, mainstream Holocaust trolls. I don't know. I don't care. Trolls are not even a bother to me. But I'll tell you what is a bother to me. What bothers me is a video I did like 4 years ago. Not only had been banned throughout Europe, but because of that, they removed all of the views and the comments, even here domestically in the US. That video had 17,200 views and over 280 comments. And now nobody can see them. This whole thing started last week when I was informed by YouTube that this particular video, which I will get to in a minute, and I will show it in a minute. This video is now banned in Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Switzerland, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Germany, Denmark, Estonia, Spain, Finland, France, the UK, French Guiana, Greece, Croatia, Hungary, Ireland, Israel, Italy, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Latvia, Martinique, Malta, New Caledonia, Old Caledonia, the Netherlands, French Polynesia, Poland, St. Pierre, Romania, Sweden, Slovenia, Slovakia. And here's what really kills me. If that wasn't enough, it's banned on the island of Futuna. Futuna! The island of Futuna is a French possession in the South Pacific. There's not even 5,000 people that live there. And apparently my video is banned in Futuna. I'll tell you why that rankles me. Rankles me because Futuna has one claim to fame, which is that it's the last known place on Earth where cannibalism, aggressive cannibalism, not internal cannibalism, but cannibalism against others, was practiced. It was practiced until late in the 1800s. And these people of Futuna, okay, there's a little island nearby them called Alofi. Alofi is uninhabited. You know why Alofi is uninhabited? Because one day, everyone in Futuna just went there and ate every motherfucker on Alofi. They ate the entire fucking island. The island's deserted now. And what gets to me about that is that the people of Futuna, it's not like they were picking off the Alofians one by one over the course of years. No, just one day they were like, you know, we're just going to sail to Alofi and just eat everybody. An island of motherfuckers ate another island of motherfuckers. And these people need to be protected from my video? The fuck is that all about? I should be protected from them. Fucking cannibal savages. Jesus. Anyway, there is an irony about the video that was restricted, banned, I should say, in Europe. Restricted here in the States, banned in Europe and elsewhere, and Futuna. This video, out of all of them, is probably the most ironic to be banned. It's the video where all I do is recount the time I met Irv Rubin, the thuggish, terroristical former head of the Jewish Defense League. Now he is the head of the 6 Feet Under League. But I talked about the time that he beat me up the first time, talked about when he's roughed me up before, talked about basically the whole, it's just an anecdote, me telling an anecdote about Irv Rubin roughing me up. And then I show video of Irv Rubin at lunch in Hollywood being interviewed about beating me up, and Irv Rubin basically says, yeah, I think I beat him up pretty good. And then Irv Rubin's cohort, Earl Krugel, who's dead also, Earl Krugel is like, I would have killed him. I wouldn't have just beat him up, I would have killed him. Though that's the whole video. There's no Holocaust in it. There's nothing even remotely, not denial, not revisionism, not anything. Jesus Christ, it's me telling an anecdote about Irv fucking Rubin. And then Irv Rubin speaking for himself. What the fuck is that? I appealed the ban and they upheld, YouTube upheld the ban. So I'm just going to show the video again, and I'm going to keep uploading it and re-uploading it every time it's taken down. I'm going to upload it. Now here's why it's ironic. Because I said at the beginning of this, it's ironic. It's ironic because one of the points I make in the video is, as much as Irv Rubin tried to kill me and put a bounty on my head and beat me up, Irv Rubin was an honest foe. If he didn't like you, he would hit you. If he didn't like you, he would try to kill you physically. That's honest. I'm not saying it's good, but it's honest. I didn't mind him because he was an honest foe. You knew where you stood with him, and he was not a coward. He'd confront you face to face. But now these fucking trolls, like whoever flagged the Irv Rubin video, I complain about them in the video 4 years ago. I'm complaining about them, saying, these people are cowards. These trolls, and I can't even call them the name I want to call them, because that'll be enough to get this video flagged, so I'm not going to make it worse. Just imagine what I'd probably call them. These people are cowards. Anonymous people hiding behind their computer, anonymously flagging videos. They don't have the fucking guts to confront the people they don't like. They don't have the guts to go face to face with the people they want to ban. These are the worst scum of the earth. So of all the videos for them to pull, the fact that it's the one where I complain about the cowardice of my foes today, it's very ironic. Anyway, enough of the preamble. Besides, my cigar's fucking gone out. See, you guys make me talk so fucking much, I couldn't even keep my fucking cigar lit. Bunch of assholes, all of you. Here's the video that was banned, okay? And I'm just going to run it as is. No alterations. This is the video. I'm just going to re-upload it, cut it in, edit it in after this, and you'll see what got pulled. And whoever flagged it the first time, go ahead, fucking flag it again. I'll put it up again. I'll do it again and again, because when you get a video restricted in foreign countries, it doesn't actually act as a strike against you on YouTube. So they're not going to pull my channel every time I re-upload this video. So go ahead, flag it again, you piece of crap. Jesus, I'm hot. Gosh, man, is it hot in here. I have got to turn my air conditioning back on. So here it is, the video that is banned in all these fucking countries, and Futuna. And if anybody's watching in Futuna, you guys might be a bunch of cannibal savages, but you're better than my trolls, because at least you went to Alofi in person and ate them one-on-one. You didn't, like, send an app to eat them. You did it yourself. So good on you, Futuna. And here's the video.
I remember your face. But that was so long
Hey there! David Stein here, aka David Cole, aka the Jewish Holocaust revisionist, aka the Republican Party animal, coming to you as always from my mattress-fortified underground bunker where I eagerly await the cold embrace of death. And death is kind of an appropriate topic for tonight's vlog because I'm going to be showing some footage of my old nemesis Irv Rubin. Irv Rubin used to run an outfit called the Jewish Defense League, or JDL. The JDL had been implicated in quite a few nefarious activities. They burned down the Institute for Historical Review in the 80s, burning thousands of books, including a lot of rare books, because that's what champions of justice do. They burn books. Irv Rubin has been linked to murder for hire. He was linked to acts of violence. The JDL as an organization was linked to pipe bombings and car bombings and house fires and similar fare. But they were mainly known for just beating the crap out of anyone that they didn't agree with. And Irv Rubin was a large, frightening-looking man. He took pride in that. He was a strong guy. He was a genuinely big guy. No Woody Allen stereotype. No Jewish stereotype with Irv Rubin. Decades before, Quentin Tarantino created the character of the Bear Jew in Inglourious Bastards. Irv Rubin was the Bear Jew. And he and I tussled many times. I got beat up 3 times by the Jewish Defense League, the third time being pretty serious, that I still have the scars from. But in a weird way, and I don't want to sound like a hopeless romantic, I miss Rubin's straightforward, honest brutality. He never tried to sugarcoat it as anything else. He didn't like you. He would either try to beat you up or he'd try to kill you. There was no backbiting. There was no saying one thing publicly, another thing privately. No, you knew where you stood with the guy, and frankly, I prefer him to a lot of the foes that I deal with these days. Anonymous hackers who attack my website, people like Michael Shermer who try to pull my YouTube videos by pretending to be teenage girls. I mean, it's just, there's no honor in that. Irv Rubin, violent as he was, but there was an honesty and a straightforwardness to him. He saw me anytime we crossed paths. He would deck me. When I stopped crossing paths with him, he put a $25,000 bounty on my head for my life. And when I told him I wanted out, we negotiated a deal where I gave him a recantation and wrote him a check. And he said, okay, the bounty's gone and you're free. And he kept to that. He kept his word. Again, you always knew where you stood with the guy. And the foes today, the people I go after, that come after me today, I mean, they're pikers compared to an Irv Rubin. Now, I'm not inviting anyone to try to do violence against me now. But then again, as I say at the beginning of every vlog, I do eagerly await the cold embrace of death. Well, when I was in my 20s, I had a whole life ahead of me, and I never drank, and I was in pretty good shape. These days, you know what? It's not a concern of mine if somebody's going to come after me. In fact, there's a few people I write about in my book who have very violent tendencies, including a couple of my ex-Republican Party friends who are heavily armed, and it's not a concern of mine anymore. So whatever happens will happen. I'm always, any time of the night, I'm always 5 sheets to the wind from the booze anyhow. Now, what you're going to see is some footage of Irv Rubin and his second-in-command, Earl Krugel. These two gentlemen are no longer with us. After 9/11, they apparently were planning to blow up a mosque in Culver City and to blow up Congressman Darrell Issa, Republican, who is Lebanese-American. And apparently the FBI got wind of it, or so they say. The thing is, the details never really came out all that much. It would not surprise me if everything the FBI alleges is true. But the fact is, both Reuben and Krugel did not survive entering the prison system. Reuben either committed suicide and jumped off a balcony in the LA prison, or he was tossed off. Either way, same result. Died. And Earl Krugel got his skull crushed by a skinhead while they were in the weight room together. I always tell people, don't exercise when there's a skinhead present. How many times do I have to spread that message? My words, they float like the wind. No one listens to me. Just listen to me every now and then. If there's a skinhead in the weight room, just go back and return like an hour later. Anyway, I went off on a tangent there. Somebody sent me this footage. This footage appears to have been shot right after the first time that Reuben decked me, which would have been late 91 or early 92. He seems to have just gotten wind of who I am, so it would make sense to place this footage around 91. But I don't have an exact date. But this is footage of Irv Rubin and Earl Krugel talking about doing me harm. They would eventually, I'd get beaten up a couple more times, and then eventually they'd put the bounty on my head, and then eventually they would get arrested by the FBI for domestic terrorism, and eventually they would die in prison. So I dedicate this footage to Irv Rubin and Earl Krugel, two guys who wanted my hide very badly, and frankly, good old-fashioned foes. Much better than the kind of people who I deal with these days. I almost get nostalgic. And then I remember what it felt like to get my nose crushed in, and 12 stitches above my eye, and a tooth knocked out. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, that's why we don't get nostalgic for getting our asses kicked. It doesn't feel good. But all the same, in honor of the dead, even the dad who tried to make me the dad, I dedicate this footage to Irv Rubin and Earl Krugel. Enjoy.
I heard about this Jewish kid, David Cole.
David who?
David Cole.
Spell the last name.
C-O-L-E. He's a revisionist, so-called.
Oh, yeah, I ran into him at UCLA recently. A piece of human dreck, a total piece of garbage, the worst collaborator, an insulter of the memory of 6 million Jews. The woman who puked on him, God bless her. And the kid who punched him out, God bless him. And the people who drove him off that campus, God bless them all. That's how I really believe. No Jewish kid has the moral right to denigrate the memory of 6 million Jews. And you want to be a Nazi? Don't call yourself a Jew anymore. And this drunk, this Bradley Smith that he works for, who was recently on the Michael Jackson show, for Mr. Cole to follow such a creature, I have nothing but contempt for David Cole. Other than that, he's okay.
So, I heard that you hit him.
Me, I'm always violently opposed to violence. But if I hit him, I wouldn't tell you.
Okay. You don't want to put on tape any kind of physical action you might have taken, in other words.
It doesn't pay to advertise.
Right. On the other hand, you wouldn't cry over seeing
If
him
David Cole fell down a hole or got bit by a rattlesnake or got run over by a 2-ton truck, I couldn't cry. I'm just incensed that he wants to question the death of 6 million Jews. And he's no better. He's no better than any collaborator or capo in a concentration camp, in my opinion. And to have the chutzpah to sit there to my face and tell me that there were no gas chambers in the concentration camps, to repeat that insanity, I get upset by that.
You want me to say on tape that I would have slugged them?
Huh?
You want me to say on tape that I would have slugged them? I'm not shy.
Well, whatever you want to say. You're free, white and 21.
If I'd have been there.
Excuse me, Earl, if I can get...
Earl, by the way, is the LA chapter chairman.
Oh, yes?
Who's in charge of GDL when I'm not in town.
Okay. Yes, Earl.
All right. If I had been there and had an opportunity, I would have slugged this guy, laid him out cold. This guy's a piece of garbage, as far as I'm concerned. He's a Jewish traitor. And for anybody to question the Holocaust, let alone a Jew, I mean, it's like saying slavery, questioning whether slavery exists, or there was a mistreatment of the Indian, or 1.5 million Armenians were killed in Turkey. I mean, these are things that have happened. We know they've happened. And you don't question. You don't make an issue out of it.